Welcome back inside the Simplified Technology Solutions Intermissions Report. Austin Bruins, Minnesota Wilderness, Wednesday night from here live at Riverside Arena. Before we go and give you the recap of the first 20 minutes of action, let's go ahead and take a listen to an interview I did earlier this week with Bruins netminder Tyler Shea. Tyler, in his second year now with the Austin Bruins, pretty much the workhorse as far as the goaltending crew goes, but with three goalies on the roster, it's certainly a different year, and with COVID and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and take a listen to that interview, and we'll talk with Tyler about his year for the 2020-21 season. Hey, Tyler, thanks for taking the time joining me here today. I know it's midweek before a short week for the game, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me on.
So I want to get started with you. It's the first time we've had the chance to really talk this year. I've been going up and down the roster, and I realized I haven't had Tyler on yet, and I know the fans in Austin want to hear from you. So what are your thoughts so far about how you've been playing so far this season, how far the team's been, how well the team's been playing this year? What are your thoughts on the early goings here now that we're 20 games in?
Yeah, I think, like you said, we're 20 games in. So it's around this time, we're usually probably 30 to 35 games into the season usually, like we were last year, but yeah, it's kind of a weird year with COVID. So we've had to take a few breaks, go on some road trips and battle some adversity, but that's kind of part of the year. It's kind of what we all signed on for. So, but from the beginning of the year, we've just been trying to build, and like we're only 20 games in, and it feels like it's been longer than that, more games than that, but we're about to embark on, 40 games in a pretty short amount of time. So we're still working. We're still not where we want to be, but we feel like we're on the right path. And, for me personally, I feel like I'm just trying to get in there and give the team a chance to win. Obviously we've all had some speed bumps here and there, but that's kind of just part of the season, part of the ups and downs of the season. And, hopefully over the next 40 games, we'll start to put some runs together and put some games together and get some points.
When we look at the roster, a rarity this year, the Bruins are carrying three goaltenders with the expanded roster size. How does that kind of change practice and change things? Is that weird for you guys now that there's three? I mean, there's three goalies and two nets. Is it a little bit different?
Obviously, during a regular season, there's usually only two. But, obviously because of the year, there are three. And, I think the good thing with having three goalies for a practice standpoint is you can control your reps a lot more. So, you don't have to stay in there when you're tired or keep going because you have, two other guys that, one guy's always sitting out. So one guy's, able to come in and help control your reps. And that goes for all three of us. So, but in terms of playing time, I think, everyone's trying to battle for the net. And right now we're just trying to get wins. I think that's the biggest part. And, if someone's winning, they're going to play. And that's kind of just, that's how it is anywhere. And it's no different here, no different this season. There just happened to be one more guy as there are on most teams this year because the spots are pretty limited with the border shut down and stuff like that. So, having three guys, it's definitely different, but, it's actually, I like it a lot. I feel like we, the leash is pretty short on all of us. We all have to show up to the rink every day and put the work in and the time in to, be able to perform now on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So, like I said, I think the team has been playing well. We're getting better, not only as a goaltending core, but as a team. And, like I said, we're looking to get some points and put some wins on the board.
If you're talking to a younger goaltender, what do you do as a netminder outside the normal practice hours to improve? That was one thing that I never really was able to see or to get a good answer from anybody about in my career. I'm curious, what do goalies do? Because it's easy for a player to just get on the ice anytime after practice and just rip a million shots. How does a goalie get more improved outside of normal practice hours and game reps?
This year, this is the first year that, I've experienced some real playing time at the junior level. So last year behind Brett Miller, I was able to learn kind of how he approached the season and how he approached the practices on a day-to-day basis. Same when Kyle McClellan was here, I got to be behind him for a few months and see what he did as well. So I've kind of just taken from those guys, but I've also taken from other mentors about what I do away from the rink. A big part of my routine now is ice bathing. So I think that's kind of a lot of athletes do that now to help with recovery. I think the main part away from the rink for me is just recovery. because obviously when you show up to the rink, you want to be prepared and ready to go, whether that's practice or games. So, that includes ice bathing, game film, close to 2 to 3 days a week. So it's a lot of recovery, a lot of preparation. That's mainly the main focus away from the rink. Because when you show up to the rink, you kind of just want to have that feeling like I did all the work. I put in the work away from the rink. So when I show up, all I have to do is go out there and perform and execute. So, you do the right things away from the rink, eat right, sleep right, train right, do all that stuff. So by the time you get to the rink, you're already prepared. You already did all the work away from the rink. Now it's just time to go prove it.
This is your second full year with the Bruins, but the third year that you've been around the team. And it's also now your third goalie coach in that time, going from Nick Lair to Keegan Asmundson to now Corey Lonke. What has Corey brought to the table this year for you that's kind of helped you improve your game?
I think that he's been continuing a lot of the things that not only Nick Lair, but what Keegan was pushing on me last year. So basically, it's just he's been continuing the same structure stuff that we've been working on, that I've been working on with not only with Nick Lair and Keegan, but especially with my goalie coaches back home. They've all been in communication, and we're trying to figure out, the best way to approach and finding the little things to improve. And, at the beginning of the season, there's always some major improvements you got to make just because the summer you haven't been playing games. So you got to get back into the swing of things, make some bigger adjustments. But now it's honestly just trying to maintain. Like we are only 20 games deep, but we've been here for close to 5 months, I believe. So it's basically just trying to maintain, make some minor adjustments based on what the other teams are doing and what our team is doing as well. So it's just a lot of maintenance, trying to figure out, just some minor tweaks here and there. Still in communication with Keegan, my goalie coaches back home, but Corey, he's been here and he's been putting in the work with us too. So, grabbing help from all different areas. So it's good to have that support, not only from Corey, but from the whole support system.
What are your personal goals here then for the remainder of the season? We've got 36 more games before the end of the regular season. What are your personal goals when we look back on the 2020-21 year and we think about it as the COVID year? What are you hoping are the goals that you've accomplished this year?
Honestly, it's just wins. I feel like this team, we have the talent in the room. We have the right room to get wins. And at the end of the day, the goal is not only to make playoffs, but to make it run deep and hopefully finish off with a championship. And I think for me personally, that's kind of my only goal right now. In terms of, a Division I commitment, that'll come when it comes. Right now, we're trying to focus on wins. We're trying to do what we can do to get off the ice and get 2 points. So how I can help with that and help get those wins for the team, I'm going to do it. So like I said, that comes from the preparation away from the rink, from the execution at the rink. There's a lot that goes into it, but we're going to make a run. We're going to go for it. We have the right guys. We have the right staff. We have the right group to make a run. And I really believe that. I know these guys believe that. And I'm really looking forward to the next 36 games in 2 months or 3 months.
And my final question, I'm going to make this one easy for you. You're clearly the workhorse of the team. You've gotten in more games than either of the other two who are a little bit younger than you. How does it feel to be the number one guy? Because you said it yourself. You experienced under Brett Miller, watching him be the number one guy. You saw Kyle the year before when Brett was the number two and you were kind of the newcomer who was waiting in the wings. How does it feel being that number one? And do you relish in the workload, the heavier workload?
A little bit. I think obviously, playing that amount of time in the net, every time you step in there, you just want to give the team a chance to win. So, this year it's different because I haven't experienced that workload this quick before. So, but I feel like we're starting to put it all together. And for me personally, trying to step in there and give the team some confidence to go put some goals in the other net, and so make sure I do my job. That way they can go do their job. And being in the position I am now, I couldn't be more grateful because of the year that we're currently in. So, it's obviously a weird year, but I'm very grateful where I am. I'm very happy to be a part of this team. I know that everyone here is grateful to be here, and we're ready to go make a run and go prove to the not only to this division, but to this league, that we're something special, and we want to go prove that.
Well, hey, that sounds like as good a plan as any. So why don't you go ahead and head to the ice bath, because this is a short week and we got a whole bunch of games coming up in February. So you rest up and we'll see you out there on the ice soon enough. Thanks, Tyler.
Sounds good. Thanks, TJ.
That was Bruins netminder Tyler Shea. We got plenty more coming up on the other side. The Simplified Technology Solutions Intermissions Report. Stay tuned. This is Austin Bruins Hockey on Power 96 and Hockey TV.